Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Michael. I'm one of the DevX engineers at Convex. Real quick, I just want to give Ben a round of applause. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Ben. That was great. My slides are not as pretty, so I apologize in advance. But I did throw in a couple of memes, so hopefully I can make up for that. So, question I really want to answer is, why do we need DevX? And it's a simple answer. Because devs need to know about your product. That's my presentation. Thank you, everybody. I'm joking. I have more. Clickers this way. So I actually want to define what DevX is, and I tried to Google, I tried to use ChatGPT. It didn't make sense to me, so I'm going to use an analogy. When I grew up as a kid, we would have these family gatherings at my family's house, and there were always two tables. There was the adults table, and there was the kiddie table. And there was that age where you would graduate from the kiddie table and go to the adults table. That was like the best time ever. And everyone who graduated from the kiddie table to the adults table was always the person who would relay information to the kiddie table. Oh, this is what they do, this is what they talk about, this is what they eat. And it would be in a way where we would understand. Usually the graduation age in my family is like 14 to 18. Past 25, you're basically an unk. And like I said, they would relay information from the adult table to the kiddie table in a way that made sense. And that's how I think of my job. There are talented engineers in Convex building something amazing, and I have to translate that information in a way that makes sense, in a way that's captivating. So that's how I define DevX. The more legitimate version is it's a bridge between the users and the business, but you already knew that. So there are different ways to do DevX. Ben talked about some. I really want to talk about video. I think that's where I excel at, that's where I'm good at, and that's what I sort of enjoy. So I want to share some secret sauce as to how I think about dev content. And really there are two types of videos. Now I'm not going to use any fancy marketing terms because honestly I don't even know what the terms mean. So the first style of video is what I call hi, nice to meet you videos. And I've done a couple of these, and like just these two videos alone have done over 500K in views. Both were for Convex. And the goal of these type of videos really is to have people who've never checked you out, or maybe have heard your name but don't really know what you do, to know about you. It's that initial introduction. And things to understand, or like what the focus should be for these style of videos, is the packaging is important, right? Like you need to make me want to click. If it doesn't look, if the initial impression is not pretty, I'm not clicking. It needs to grab my attention, and that's what allows me to continue to watch that. That's what makes me want to watch. And then I truly believe storytelling is key, and this is what makes me finish a video. A lot of people will throw crazy budgets at videos, and they look nice, but it's boring, right? There's no plot. You just spend a lot of money on camera gear. Good job. But it doesn't really deliver. People are not watching it to the end. And a funny example, anybody here know Theo? He loves to ruffle some feathers. One time in particular, he quote tweeted someone who was talking about this channel that had the best Haskell tutorial. Anybody write Haskell code? I didn't think so. And essentially the videos were like in detail, they were like knowledgeable, but they were packaged so poorly, nobody was watching. In fact, the only time they really got views was because he quote tweeted the tweet. I say that to say, packaging is more important than you think. You can have the best information, you can be the most knowledgeable, but if you don't deliver it in a silver platter, it does not matter. And this is, in particular, very important for these style of videos I just mentioned, the hi, nice to meet you. I think the marketers call this top of funnel. But then there are the edutainment videos, right? These are the educational videos where you go in deeper, but I truly believe even with these videos, as technical as you want to be, there needs to be this, you need to make it fun. There needs to be a reason for me to watch it. I love watching technical videos, but I also don't want to be bored. I think there's a great intersection that can be discovered through practice where you can create something that's very educational, but also engaging to watch. And these two videos for a specific YC startup that I did, I kid you not, took it from 5 figures ARR to 7 figures ARR. I wish I owned stock. That being said, these edutainment style videos are for people who are already familiar. They're users. And one of the biggest mistakes I've seen people make, companies make, is this assumption that just because someone uses your product, they know everything about it. For example, I joined Convex I think 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And I joined Convex 4 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago I realized, oh, we can do cron jobs. And I've been using Convex for maybe 6 to 8 months, like to the core. And I just discovered coming here, like, oh, we can do cron jobs. I don't think anybody knows about this. So we can't make the assumption that just because people use their product, know the full capabilities or the full power of it. And also, you should make content to flex and show off new features. Now, I like to think of being a DevX engineer like being and building a relationship. First impressions are very important. There's this phrase I came up with on the flight. It was a very turbulent flight, and I was by the exit seat, so I thought I was going to die, but we're all here. And folks come for the cool, but they stay for authenticity. What do I mean by that? Whenever you create content, it needs to be captivating, it needs to be engaging, it needs to be, dare I say, fun. But that's not what people stay for. They stay for the authenticity, for the deep dives, for the deep technical videos like Ben creates. And it's very important for us to realize the combination of, let me just go back here, hi, nice to meet you videos and the edutainment videos, I think is a perfect combination to showcase to engineers, users, that your product is amazing. I do sort of want to end this off with a quick story of mine, because I know there are some people who are considering doing DevX, and hopefully this inspires you. Now, in my dev career, I've only been a dev. This is the first time in, I would say, the last 4 weeks I've been DevX. And this is how my journey follows. I started studying computer science at Ryerson University. This is in Toronto, Canada. Anyone ever been to Toronto? Okay, so y'all know. Beautiful city, best city in the world. Unfortunately, I dropped after my second year, and I just became the ultimate hustler. I was flipping sneakers. I would like hire someone from Fiverr and then arbitrage. Like, if there was anything legal to do, I did. I kid you not. I've sold water outside, like in the bucket outside, like stadiums. Like, I've done it all. But in August 2022, I don't know why. I couldn't tell you the reason. I decided to self-learn again. I decided to write code again. And boy, did I fall in love. It was like art. It felt like a new hobby. And I literally could not stop. So from August 2022, and I want you to mind the dates, because the dates are very important. From August 2022 to October 2022, I would literally write 5 to 7 hours of just writing code, building stuff, start reading stuff, reading documentations. I was in. And then in October, I felt like, you know what? I'm knowledgeable enough to get a job. But at the same time, I'm like, it probably would help if I had some sort of certification. So I made the greatest mistake ever. I decided to join a coding boot camp. And to join this coding boot camp, I had a specific amount of money in my bank account. I spent all of it. I was completely all in. And it was great, though. I had a great time. I learned a lot. I had a sick demo day project. Everything was looking cool. But 2 days before I was, quote unquote, graduating, this happened. Layoffs. Google, Microsoft, everybody's laying off. And my prospects of a job went to zero. I went from this is how happy I was, to this. But it didn't end there. If you thought that was bad, it got worse. This came out the very day I graduated. The very day. I asked it to write code and it did, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cooked. And this was me that day. But I did not give up. I had that dog in me. So for 1 year, from the moment I graduated, for 1 year, I literally could not get a job, but I couldn't stop shipping. I was just writing code. And I launched a startup, and it did pretty well. We did like $3 million in revenue in 2023. And I thought I made it. At peak, we had about 150,000 active users. Looking back, I don't even know how we were able to serve that amount of customers. The dropout, the boot camp grad finally did it. But then something else happened. I left my own startup, and I left with no equity, no cash. Now you might ask, why would you do that? That's the dumbest thing in the world. I started it with some friends, and unfortunately, we started to get into disagreements. And me not knowing business, I was like, you know what? Friendship is better than this. I just left. I kind of regret it. But I now felt like I had the skills and proof that I could get a job. It felt like I could get a job. And I started applying, but it was crickets. Sorry, wrong one. So during this tough economic job situation, I decided to create content. And not because I wanted to be famous on YouTube. It was my strategy to send the videos to the recruiters so that they can watch the videos and be like, not only is this guy handsome, but he's also smart. But that didn't happen. I started posting these videos and people started to tell me, oh, that actually made sense. I noticed that I had the ability to make difficult concepts easy to understand. And with all this happening, I was still writing code every single day. And then finally, an engineering manager liked my videos and I got a job. I forgot to mention that I got a referral. So it wasn't really the videos, it was the referral plus the video. I say this to say I contributed very much to the company and it felt great. And then I worked at a YC startup, contributed directly to its growth, built awesome features, and now I'm at Convex, but as a DevX engineer. Why? Now here's a corporate answer because James is right there. I'm excited about Convex's mission to simplify backend development. The way Convex abstracts away complexity for front-end engineers resonates with me because I've seen firsthand how backend boilerplate slow teams down. And then I have another one just in case that one didn't work. But truly the real answer is I loved the product. I used Convex so much that I did a hackathon a couple months ago and I used it end to end. I think I used almost every feature except the cron stuff because I didn't even know it existed. And I won, and I had such a deep understanding for the product. This was one product I wanted to contribute to. Another thing is I got to meet Wayne and Jamie, and both of them were cool people. And I highly recommend if you have options and you can pick where to work, I think the people who you work with really matter, and you have to actually kind of like them. The team is full of smart people. I've never felt dumber in my life. And the ultimate truth is I want to learn. There are only so many divs you can center, so many web applications you can optimize for speed. There were so many things like system architecture, API design, and scale that I wanted to learn that unfortunately the bootcamp did not teach me. So in my experience, the best way to learn is to teach. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm also pretty bullish on Convex. I think we're gonna make it, so I joined the team for that reasons. So if you wanna get into DevX, my big suggestion for you is to start creating content. It's probably gonna suck, it's probably gonna bomb, but just like the gym, you have to get your reps in. And if you want to find great people, great DevX people, the strategy is simple. You just find smart yappers on X and YouTube. It takes about 1 hour a day of research. All that to say, I was able to do this in 1 year. And you can too. All you need is that dog in you. Thank you, everybody.